Faders of the Lost Art.
Welcome, Faders of the Lost Art, live at Namm 2025 here at the Cloud Mics booth. Big shout out to Cloud for hosting us. I'm here with my boys, legendary engineers, plugin makers, mastering engineers, mixing, recording, a little bit of everything. These boys running the game right now. Run you up for a bag too. Let's start with left to right. My boy Danny Escobar, legendary top engineer in Miami, comes out to LA. Top engineer in LA. Damn, where's all the work gone? It's gone to Danny. Damn, son. He's literally doing all the top sessions out here. Look at his page. Go look up Danny. You'll see heavy hitter. Calin, what can I say about Calin? Kalin's same deal. East Coast, killing it. Came over to the West Coast, kept killing it. Worked with Ferg, worked with tons of hip hop heads. He's been killing it from East Coast to West Coast, and then he starts MixWave with a good friend Taylor Larson, and they're killing it, smashing it. Every single plugin they came out with is just chart topping. Thank you for being here.
Appreciate it.
My man Connor, CH Carroll Mastering, for those of you that are online. This boy's coming up in the game. Talk to me, Connor. Tell me some of your favorite things you worked on recently.
The new Kari project called Late Night Slider EP. Vory.
Fuck yeah.
Ooh, fuck yeah.
Vory's ill.
Lay Banks, Fozia.
Hell yeah. Been killing it.
Yeah, Dina Ayada.
Let's get it, boy. So let's get right into it. What have we been using on kicks? Okay, just give me one plugin that you use on kicks.
I've been using this new plugin coming out soon. It's called Meld by
Make Believe.
My Make Believe Metric Halo.
Shout out Ryan Carson.
Yeah,
shout out Ryan Harvey, Mix Carson, Rick Carson, my boys.
Yeah.
My brain's scrambled
Everything
eggs.
they're making is just incredible.
Literally, from Good Math all the way to now Melda. What else do they got coming out this year?
They got a Chris Geringer plugin,
Tight.
which is good. They have this reverb effect plugin with David Bendeth.
Sick.
They have a lot of great stuff coming out.
Sick. Hell yeah. Kalen, what have you been using on kick?
On kick, I've been using my voice is crazy. I lost my voice, so forgive me.
Chill.
I've been using the new MixWave EQP 1S3 Full
Fuck
Tech.
yeah, bro. I need to hurry the fuck up and get on the sauce because Bob won't stop talking about it.
Dude,
for
Bob
real,
loves it. A bunch of people. I don't want to I don't know. Some legendary dudes hit me up and were like, "Yo, this is on my mix bus on the new, biggest record on earth coming out." And I'm
Sick,
like, "Holy
dude.
shit, that's
a
amazing.
lot. That's a big deal."
It's very exciting to hear that. Where you're
Mix
like, "Wow,
bus is a coveted spot.
It really is.
know?
It really is. I mean, you could ask me what have I been using on anything lately, and that would probably be my answer lately because it is a new thing we just put out.
Sick.
But it sounds fucking good on anything. It's unbelievable.
Hell yeah.
And between the solid state and the tube modes,
yeah,
just always sounds
everything
right,
you've been
man.
doing. The DW Fern thing you did. Sick.
Yeah, the Hazel Rig joint. Yep.
Sick.
DLC.
Thank you, everything, dude. Even pedals, and I'm not even I don't use a ton of pedals. I use the Tube Screamer and a couple other ones.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, damn it, I need to get all the pedals.
Dude, what's funny about pedals? It's they're obviously for guitars, but I made a bunch of presets. So we put out a Tube Screamer that's based on the Maxon 808 from the 70s.
Oh, damn.
And that and the Centurion pedal, which is modeled on a vintage Klon.
Yep.
I went in there and went ham making mix bus settings and shit that will work.
That's crazy.
Where the wet is on 1% wet, but it adds this harmonic complexity and depth to shit that's wild. I'm
sick.
it could be on the mix or synth bus or samples. It's fucking dope.
Yeah,
Love
that's another one.
that
But
shit.
yeah, Bob's heavy. He had to look it up. He's like that gold one. He's like, I've been using it a lot.
Centurion, yeah,
Fuck
the
yeah,
Klon,
dude.
yeah, hell yeah.
That's
Great
sick.
plugins.
Well, you don't
Thank
do
you, man.
kick drums, but what do you do for low end?
There's honestly a little, I don't know if it's a secret, but if you use the SPL Transient Designer on a master,
Okay.
and
Which one? The deluxe or the
regular
simple one?
two-band?
the deluxe with the sidechain.
Okay.
That's the whole thing behind
Okay.
it. It's maybe turning it up to the low and then turning the sidechain on, boosting the attack and sustain,
Yeah.
and it kind of makes the
Wait, say that one more time slow for those of us sitting in the back.
For those of us who are slow,
Yeah.
say it slow.
So with the SPL Transient Designer, there's the sidechain option,
Okay.
and it's low, mid, high, and if you leave it in between the letters of low,
Yeah.
and then adjust the attack and sustain, it opens up the mix more and makes it more dynamic.
That's the sauce right there, y'all.
I'll try that.
That's
for
the
sure.
sauce
And
right
so
there.
it's
That's why I was
just-
like, hold on, slow down for me,
Yeah.
boy.
It's just so like the low end doesn't crowd everything, and you can just like crank it.
Damn. So you're controlling. You're not necessarily
Right. It's
Okay.
more like a balance thing. It's like if all the headroom is taken up from the low end, there's no
Right.
like room for the
Where
mix
you
to
gonna
be.
go? Yeah.
Right. But the
Dude,
the
sick.
SPL trait, that's
Fuck yeah.
insane. Every song almost.
Okay, what about
Good.
MS stuff? I want to go to vocals, but since you don't do vocals, let's stay with you,
I do
Connor.
do
and
vocals from time to time.
Okay, so you like stem mixing and stuff?
No,
or
tracking
just
every once in a while.
okay? Fuck yeah. Okay, vocals. What are you using on vocals? You don't have to give me your whole chain. Actually, vocal chain. Just give me your whole chain.
Check me up.
Yeah.
Auto-tune, SSL, the 4KE,
Yeah.
and then Pro C,
Yeah.
and then super slept on. It's the it's like the stock Avid Maximizer,
Oh. Okay.
Maxim,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
and that just like brings it up.
What?
Yeah.
Y'all ever use Maxim? I've never used that.
Not
I've used
really.
it.
Use it?
I've used it. Yeah.
That's crazy. I've never heard anyone say that. That's sick. That's sick. I love when people use
Yeah.
stock Avid plugins, like, but they're like, no, it's the OG shit. Like,
Yeah.
nothing could touch it.
Stu right there uses so many stock old ass Avid plugins on Beyonce shit and all the crazy stuff, and I'm like,
You know
bro,
what I mean?
what are
Like,
we doing?
how? How
They
is
sound
life?
good, and but we're always onto the new shit. We forget that like they kind of got it right with certain things a minute
Right?
ago. Pretty,
How are they even doing it?
I know.
Hey, I could have been doing this since Pro Tools 10, you're telling me?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Proof is in the pudding, man.
That's right. Use your ears, not the gears.
Exactly.
But what have you guys been doing on vocals?
Well, I keep it very simple. I use channel strip by Metric. I use version 3 for DSP, and I use Autotune Hybrid and or Reverb. Call it a day. And I
Autotune
just-
Hybrid, what are your Autotune settings?
It depends for the artist. I usually go in between 20. Start there.
If you have a brand new artist, you just start at 20?
I start at 20, and then I go from their vibe.
Got you,
You know?
got you. Turn me up.
I
and
just
turn me
fill them
down.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got you. Okay, okay. What about you, Calin?
I use CLA 76. I just fucking love that plugin.
Strap it
man.
right on.
I just love that.
Where do you hit it?
I have like the attack. I usually start with the attack around noon and the fastest release.
Okay.
And I push into it, and then I'll adjust the attack. Sometimes I'll slow the attack down a little bit. A lot of times I'll slow the release down a little bit, just kind of match the groove of the song or whatever's going on. And then I'll often, lately I've been bringing the wet down because the the last update Waves did, you have the wet dry. Maybe that was a minute ago, I don't remember when that was, but
Damn.
I'll bring the wet down to like 90% just to let a little of the original shit come through.
That's awesome.
And it just sounds a little more alive, but very controlled, which is something I like about that plugin. And I use Pro DS Fab Filter a lot.
Dope.
There's also
What ranges?
Oh, it just depends. It just depends.
Okay,
Wherever the S is at.
Okay, you don't have a favorite range.
Try to
You're a
target
hunter.
that- Yeah, I'm a hunter. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
good,
Gotta
good,
get
good.
in there. Gotta get in there.
Hell yeah.
This other new de-esser that's crazy, I forget the name of the company, but it's called Splits or Split S.
Oh, I saw
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Bro, it's fire. Shout out to whatever that company is called. And
Yeah, it's
the
a
guy
new-
who put me onto it, if I forget his name, go buy that plugin. It's amazing. I have
Yeah.
nothing to do with them, but it's like, it just separates your vocal from like the shit with the S, like the sibilants or the fricatives, like the
Yep, yeah.
all that shit, separate from everything else, and you just turn it down.
Right, without
That's
getting
it.
without getting lispy is what I'm hearing. I haven't tried it yet,
I mean,
but
it can get lispy if you go ham on it, but
Gotcha.
like a lot of times I'll Pro DS it as gently as possible to like tame it, and then I'll use Split S or whatever it's called, Splits, to just see where I can get away with it within the context of the mix. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So, like,
dope.
So
I know that
good.
Antares one is pretty good too.
Yeah, I gotta get more into
They
that.
have like some AI, I think.
That's sick. Their new stuff is really cool. Their new EQ, their new,
Yeah,
all their
That's
new
another
line of
one
stuff.
I don't use that all the time, but their vocal EQ, is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think it's called Vocal EQ.
It
It's
has-
really good.
Dude, it has the surfer EQ functionality built in.
That's what I'm talking about.
But way better because the surfer EQ, was it Sound Radix or whoever? The Q was so wide.
Yeah,
So with this joint, you can really fine tune it and it'll follow. But that's more of like a specialty E.
it is.
When
And
you
it's
really,
very
really need that
processor
thing.
intensive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you got to have a nice computer. But if you
Yeah.
do have a nice computer, it's nice.
Yeah. But other
It's
than
nice.
that, not to take forever on my vocal settings, but Channel Strip 3, I love Channel Strip 3, and then MixWave Pulse Tech again. I've been
Hell
using the
yeah.
shit out of that lately. It's so nice.
That's
16K,
great.
whenever you're like, this vocal sounds really good, I just wish there was more of that expensiveness up top.
Yeah.
Just 16K in the context of the mix. Up too much, bring it back. There it is.
And going back to like, you know, the mix bus is coveted, and you know, it's a lot of trial and error and a lot of like trial and tribulation, if you will, before we let something onto our mix bus. And usually people don't do that unless it's like the most faithful recreation. So again, shout out, you know, MixWave, killing it. Like that's the only thing I've been hearing is like, yo, it actually does what it's supposed to do. There's,
I mean,
you know,
you're
there's
using on a
different.
mix bus. You just told me, right? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I've been using it.
Yeah.
I don't even tweak it. I just put it on and it does the thing.
Damn.
It just the harmonics.
Sauce.
The harmonics in it do something really cool.
Yeah.
One of my
That's
favorite
dope.
producers and mixers. I don't want to put him on blast, but does a lot of big shit. He was like, bro, magical mids. Love getting that text.
Hell yeah.
You know what I
Dude,
mean?
that's
So it's cool.
insane. That's
Yeah,
insane.
Yeah, I think if you wanted anything just to cut through a little bit more, you literally just slap it, don't do anything, and it pops out.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
insane.
it like puts everything to attention. Like,
I
exactly.
love it. I
Exactly.
love it.
yeah.
Some things I've been doing is on vocals, the old Cambridge EQ. I love that
Okay.
thing. It's pretty
It's a good
surgical. And then, of course, I'll do a little bit of dynamic stuff with Pro Q. You know, I'll play between Soothe and Pro Q depending on the, you know, what's
Pro
coming
Q4?
in. Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
I'm on my way.
Shout out Fab Filter. Hook my boy
Yo.
up with Brokey 4, man. Come on.
For real. It's crazy. I love all the new features, but I have been hearing there's
What are you?
you know how every like some people have like the first version of Waves or whatever, you know what I mean, Ozone or whatever, you know. So there's different sounds to different versions. That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah.
So it has a new sound.
Yeah.
Of course.
To me,
it's-
sounds cleaner. I
There
feel
you
like
go.
they really did their thing.
I thought so too, honestly. I
Yeah.
think it sounds a little better because the Pro Q3 I liked for like the very specific nuanced cutting, but I wasn't a fan of really boosting with it. I don't plan on boosting with 4 that much, but I feel like I can if I really need to in a pinch now.
Well, I tested it out. I found it that if I boosted on the high end with 4, it wasn't as like harsh.
Way
As
better now,
into
right?
3, I
Yeah.
had a little bit of harshness.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here.
How much are you boosting?
3 dB. I don't do
Okay.
like a lot.
I was gonna say because like 3 dB with 3 is like kind of harsh. I had to bring it back to like 1.5.
Yeah.
I can't boost more than 1.5 dB. That's what I found on
Yeah.
Pro Q3, especially on a vocal. I can't boost a shelf higher than 1 dB without getting like
Yeah.
nails on a chalkboard almost, you know. And we say nails on a chalkboard. Most people may not hear it, but to us, like if I showed you my, you know, with that same thing, you're like, oh, there's something up with the
yeah.
high end, you know.
And 3 dB is a
you
lot.
can-
I mean, it's
you
yeah,
can-
it's noticed, yeah, for
right.
sure.
So, I'm stoked on that. I'm stoked on all the things I'm hearing about it. So yeah, definitely.
I think it's good. I think it was a worthwhile improvement. And then the whole like spectral thing when you do the dynamic EQ is really
That
fucking
sounded
dope.
really good. Yeah.
It's like more CPU intensive. You got to be careful with the latency and all that stuff within your mix, but sometimes it's like exactly the thing you need.
Yeah.
And the dynamic mode is doing too much, and then you switch it, you hit on the spectral button, and you're like,
it does it.
there
That's
it is,
it.
man.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted, right in between. And it's cool. It's not AI, and it's not this, it's not that, but it's like we have Soothe, we have Pro Q4, and I like that because they all have different colors. They all
Yes.
do just things slightly differently, and not all program material is the same. Like
No.
what worked today is not going to work tomorrow or whatever. You know what I mean? You get the picture.
Soothe is so good too. I still use Soothe a lot. I don't use it on every like religiously, but when I need it, I just think it's important. A lot of like younger dudes learn to like be. God, I hate my voice right now. Just learn to be chill with Soothe because I get these mixes in where they just like crank it, and I'm like, bro, this sounds crazy.
Right.
So I think it's like it's a plugin you got to really, really carefully listen to. It's easy to overdo it.
Yeah.
When in doubt, bring it back, and then bring that wet back too.
Right.
That sounded crazy. Turn the wet down.
And then play with the trim a little bit.
Yeah,
You
that
know what
sounded
I'm
crazy
saying?
too.
Yeah, I know, right? It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
what do they do? What's wrong with this company? What do they put all their presets, all their settings like crazy ass?
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I gotta shout out my boy Ken Lewis. He's got crazy plugins coming out as well.
Oh, nice.
Mixing Night Audio. He's got the Greenhouse and the LOL comp, but it is now also All Comp. So if you haven't checked it out, check it out. So LOL comp is basically all of his chains, like his drum bus, his vocal bus, his music bus. So you can pick, you know, whatever you're working on, and then you can drive it. And then there's also a little kind of drop down, kind of like Ozone, where you've got a couple different like sections, and he's got a little bit of a clipper, a little bit of a reverb. It's like what, you know? So it's just like all in one kind of like sauce. So it's like, yo. And of course, his first GUI is his ultimate creative self. So it's like, there's not a word on it. It's all drawings and stuff. So
Nice.
you got to either read the manual or figure it out.
Yeah, use your ears, baby.
Now with all comp, he's kind of made it a lot more traditional GUI. Everything's labeled. It's kind of like your regular gear-looking gear. You know, it's got knobs and it's black. So it's beautiful though, man. That thing sounds really good. And I was like trying it out on a few things, and I was like, okay, you know, trying to learn how to use it. Like I said, the law comp is kind of difficult to figure out unless you know what's going on under the hood. So I actually listened to Ken and how he uses it, and he's like, I literally tried nothing else and just mixed with this, and I was like, let me try a whole mix of just Ken's, and it worked.
Nice.
Like what?
I gotta try it.
So definitely try that out.
Shout out to Bob Horn too, because he on Instagram a couple weeks ago he posted like a Leapwing Audio Al Schmidt plugin, and I had just gotten their whole bundle.
Nice.
And he was like, "Yo, this compressor in here is crazy," and I tried it, and it really is fire. It's like a little knob, it's just like an amount knob or whatever. So
Wow.
good on vocals, all kinds of shit.
That's
really
sick.
dope.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then to bring it back on the spectral plugins, we all know Soothe, we know Pro Q4 is doing it, but MCDSP has one as well, and it sounds fantastic. I found it that something that Soothe didn't do it or Pro Q didn't do it, that thing saved it. I think you were there when I was doing that, and I don't
Talk
know,
to
it
me.
just
Which
did
one?
the
They
thing.
have a few spectral processors. MixDSP.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're amazing, man. Shout out to Colin and all the whole team at MixDSP. Big fans.
Absolutely, they're great.
They've been killing it since a long time. They're one of the OGs.
I love MixDSP,
Triple
dude.
OGs.
Also, the ML4000 is just amazing.
Yo, that's what I'm
Yes.
saying. You
ML4000.
know how long?
Yes.
You know how long that thing's been out since I went to school a long time ago.
Yeah.
Bro, I ignored that thing for a long time. One of my buddies put me onto it. I was like, "Oh, this is unbelievable."
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I love that.
So tell me about what you're doing with MixDSP.
I use the ML4000 sometimes on the mix bus as well, just like multi-band. I use the limiter.
The Spectral.
The Spectral, I had a vocal that was just like really harsh,
Yeah.
and Soothe didn't do it, and I hit it with that, and like it totally.
Which one? The
turned it up.
SA2?
I think it was the 3.
Okay, SA3 spectral processor is
Yeah.
what it's called?
I
Nice.
think so. It was great.
Any tips and tricks?
I gotta use that.
That's why I'm asking.
Yeah,
Why do you
yeah.
think I'm not asking for y'all, I'm asking for me,
Yeah,
and
right,
y'all
yeah.
can learn in the
And me
process.
too, yeah.
You feel me? That's
You know,
how this works.
It was the first time I pulled it up. It was just like me trying things out, trying to make something work, and it just did the thing. Like I didn't even have to really try.
Word.
So
It's nice to
now
have
it's
options, man.
on my go-tos. This is my favorites.
And you just set it and forget it?
Essentially, yeah. That's what we did.
Yeah.
You just put it on there stock? Love it, yo. That's some sauce right there.
Yeah.
Boy, what?
I love plugins where you can just put them and it just works.
Right.
You know, I don't want to overthink it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's awesome. It has a thing. It has a thing.
It does the thing.
Right? That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
I'm gonna try that. Let's go.
808s. What's popping? What are we doing on 808s? One plug-in. Give me a parallel chain. I don't know. What are you doing? What are you doing? Is it in your? Okay. Is it in your drum bus, or you have an 808 bus or a bass bus? Like,
For me, it's never with the drums personally. What about you?
For me, it's with the drums, and I
It is?
clip it.
okay, you
Oh,
clip the whole
nice.
thing. The
Yeah.
808 with the drums, and you clip the whole thing.
However, you know, I do a little bit of a high pass on 808s.
Ooh.
Hey, that ain't. Hey, listen, ain't nothing wrong. One day, I was talking to Ken in the clubhouse days, and I was like, yo, I put the Cambridge EQ with the high pass on my master.
Yeah.
Like with an elliptical curve. It's actually like a brick wall, like, you know, and it all the way down. Or you actually, what I do is I will find the root note and try and, like, you know, see different you know, root notes, see if something will come alive. And he's like, bro, no. And it just blew me away. I was like, some people do, some people don't. You know? So, but yeah, hey, there's nothing wrong. A lot of EDM guys, actually almost all the EDM guys, roll off the low on the master.
I do.
Yeah.
Excuse me? I was just kidding.
Well, I mean, yeah, I was gonna say, correct me if I'm wrong. You know, you do mastering, but to me, I feel like I'm rolling out what people are not even gonna hear anyway,
True.
just to get more headroom.
Absolutely.
You know, so
It's the name of the game, baby.
I guess I think the concern some people have is with it fucking with the phase when you're filtering it too aggressively. But at the same time, if it sounds good and it translates, it is what it is. It just depends on the song and what you're doing, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
You gave us a little low end sauce. What about like some like speaker cut through the speaker 808 shit? Like cut through the iPhone speaker.
So kind of also the transient designer, because it depends where you sidechain it in the low end. So
Gotcha.
I can have like this like 80 hertz mountain,
Yeah.
but then the transient that's getting turned up is still like the 150 super punchy kick.
Right. And it's not the whole woof, it's just the transient.
Right.
Like an EQ would bring the whole woof with it.
You don't get like the muffled. Like,
Right. That
weird
the woof.
resonance.
I call it woof. You call it whatever you
Right.
want.
And like
Woof, you know what I'm saying? Subwoofer, it goes woof. I don't know. Anyways.
But I'll call off at like 24, 30 hertz sometimes, and then I'll just add the low end back in.
Dope.
Dude, the
SPL.
transient designer on an 808 is a cheat code for real.
It is.
Really is. It's like, I try it every time now.
What do you do when you have an 808 that like the third note goes 10 dB down? You know what I'm saying? Or like the third
I'll usually like separate it, put it on another track, and process it differently.
What if
adjust
it's
the
like
level differently,
what
whatever.
if it's like every other note? You still separate it? It's like
I mean, I'll fly it. Yeah, I'll separate and fly it.
Fuck it,
right?
we're going in.
Just gotta do the work.
We're going in.
Gotta do the work, whatever it needs.
Part of the process.
Whatever
Let's
it takes
go.
to make it do the thing it's got to do. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. I think everybody knows. If you mix 808s, you know what that is.
Yep. There's always that one note that's like,
Ringing out.
where'd you go?
Yeah.
Or no, it's just like on the floor.
That's it,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like
I
where'd
used to
this
just
note
like
go?
use really narrow EQ boosts so that when it hits this note, it would like I would just adjust where that root note was. But I think it's a lot easier to just separate it on tracks and then make it feel how you want in the context of the mix. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I
Different
definitely
processing and levels and all that.
like people tend to not want to do that, right? Because we're naturally like, what's the fastest way to get there?
Yeah.
Like put a plugin on it, right? But I learned that from Josh in something he was doing, and he was talking about his vocals. He's like, I'll cut it and put it on a new track as many times as I need to. I was like, why would you have so many vocal tracks off of just one lead vocal? But it's like so then it made me think about like the performance and the ebb and flow of the different sections, how you go in your song. So it's like, it makes me think.
100%, dude. Yeah.
It's about that. It's about the experience, right? That you're trying to give the listener.
Yeah, absolutely. Also in 808s, I feel like I sound like RFK Jr. right now. Like, they're putting glyphosate in our food.
Yeah, dude.
Yellow fine. Don't eat the food.
Actually, you're plugging the level, I think the stock compressors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you put that on parallel and 808s and bass, like it really adds a lot of like nice harmonic distortion that helps it cut through. I've definitely been doing that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I made a couple of 808 presets on there too, but that's a good plugin to like experiment. It's a very rich, enveloping kind of compression with a lot of harmonic excitement going on. It's very rich.
Yeah.
So it's definitely good.
Also,
for that.
the other plugin you guys have is like the black one, like 500 series, right? What was that? one?
Yeah, the Electrodyne 511. It's two bands. The black
that
one.
thing to add air and
Amazing,
vocals
right? Yeah, dude.
is incredible.
Yeah.
It's so smooth. You can just boost.
100%. Exactly.
Yeah.
The top end is magic on it. It's classic inductor EQ. It just sounds so musical and smooth.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very easy to take for granted plugin because you're like, there's a little shit with two knobs on it. Dude, it sounds amazing.
That's
so
crazy.
smooth, and the low end is fat. It's very.
So
very
I got
useful.
two. Actually, one I forgot. So the other one is the coil preamp.
yeah,
That's another
670.
smooth freaking
Yeah, dude.
operator you got over there, bud.
Very fat, very harmonically rich, and the beauty of that thing is it's very heavy-handed at first. Where if you put it on a vocal, you're like, damn, this is like too dark. Just bring the wet down, dude, and then it's like you get this fat. It's almost like it injects your vocal and fills the frequencies out for you.
Dude,
and there's
when
a spot on the wet where it's exactly that, but without losing any of the clarity. There's always a spot.
I'm gonna give you an anecdote. So when you get a new plugin, sometimes it gets you in trouble.
Sure.
So that was, I had a mix and I was like, I just wanted to put the coil on it because I just loved it, but it was like this instrument was just way too loud. It's like the song is not about that freaking synth. You know what I mean? It just sounded so good, and it just kept going back and forth. I had like 6 different instances. I would like make it inactive and just try it again, and I was just like, no, I like this. And then you know what I mean? Oh
That's
man,
awesome, dude.
it's sick. The point is there's so much creative ability with that.
Yes, that's like a serious. That's one of my all-time favorite plugins, regardless of who made it.
Yeah.
Because it just sounds very rich and analog. And again, with the wet dry, there's a setting that makes pretty much anything better. It just sounds like fuller, and you know what I mean.
It's like obviously it's parallel, but it's like, man, there's just so many opportunities. There's so many, You could.
I'm glad you like it. It's dope. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, what else has been going on? What's your favorite thing y'all seen at Namm? How's Namm been?
It's been great. The Make Believe Metric Halo Chris Geringer Loudness plugin.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited to check that
What's
out.
it called?
I think it's just Chris Geringer. No.
Okay.
Not sure yet.
Well, just look for something with Chris's name on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks
There you
like it's
go.
going to help us get shit louder more easily and less artifacty. It seems. It
Fuck
sounded
yeah.
good on headphones. I'm excited
Do you
about
guys
that.
use Good Math?
Yes.
From time to time, yeah.
You do? I haven't really
How do you
gotten
A/B
into
it?
yet.
Maybe, I mean, bypass it. I mean, I use it, so it's essentially a trim plugin, but when you click into A, it engages like a clipper. So you can like clip into it.
Oh, damn.
So it's nice.
Damn.
So when he
I
first
should have
came
read the
out,
manual.
When it first came out, I started doing this thing on when I was tracking, I put it in my template just to get things loud and bounce it. I would use Good Math, clip into it into Kevin's limiter.
There you go.
And it would just be stupid loud and clean, so.
That's dope.
I gotta mess with those more. I haven't used those enough.
Yeah.
They're cheat codes for sure. That's why
Yeah,
I'm
right.
asking. Like,
Yeah, and I think the model, like the Lavery Gold on that clipper on Good Math, but they didn't talk about it. It was just like a, if you know, you know thing, I guess.
possibly.
It
I'm
sounds good.
also I'm excited about the new Sound Toys processing things, like a reverb or something like that. Have you guys seen that?
I haven't
not
seen
seen
it
it.
yet. Tell me a little bit about what you saw.
I mean, it just looked and sounded cool. I don't even know exactly what it is. One of the guys over there was saying that it's like, with most reverbs, as it decays, it gets darker and darker.
Yep.
Makes sense?
Yep.
That's cool.
This is like a whole different algorithmic thing where it does a different thing. I was like, it sounds exciting. It sounds like a new and different tool, which is always the most exciting thing.
You know what I think when I think of things like that are not traditional reverbs or like candy or creative reverbs? I think like Travis Scott ad-libs. You know what I mean?
right.
So I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, bring it on. We only have like 2 or 3 things that do that. So like, I'll take a different flavor.
It seems like it'll be good on a lot of creative shit.
Yeah, that creative. Like, I love doing creative shit on like backgrounds or ad libs or whatever. Because like Travis Scott has a Travis Scott thing, but you could do a different
Your own
weird
version
thing
of
that's
that.
not his thing, but
Yeah,
it's like a thing, right?
yeah.
So that's what I like doing. That's what I've been doing lately. It's like, see if I, and it's not necessarily like too noticeable or like, you know, like a throw or anything. It's like this little like texture.
Yeah.
You know, it's like some people will be like, did you do on that reverb? And it's like, yo, you like, you know, the people that know, you know what I mean? It's like hide a little sauce in
That's
there.
always
It's like
the best. When they
some
catch that,
modulation.
you're like,
yeah. You know, there's a lot of records that some of the heavy hitters, yo, shout out our boy Trev. Mixed by Trev, shout out. Go. Fucking there's a lot of records that the producer put in like some stupid little shit to see if you would notice type shit, and you forget about that. You like, a lot of people take music so freaking seriously, and we forget that there's a lot of cool shit out there.
I love that shit. Yeah.
There's a lot of cool shit out there. Well, it's been a freaking awesome Namm so far. It's been real hanging out with you guys. These are some of the most legendary folks just openly sharing their shit with you, so thank you guys very much.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Definitely appreciate it. It's been real. Man, keep killing it, guys.
You too,
Definitely
man.
very proud of all you guys. We're like the up and comers that are gonna take your bitch.
All your
Just kidding.
bitches.
There you go.
All everyone.
Exactly that.
So stay on your toes, keep them coming, and like I said, you know, it's all about just sharing our information, sharing the knowledge, you know, being an open book, and that's how we're growing. You know, that's what it's all about. Just getting together, you know, spilling the tea, sharing some sauce, whatever you want to call it, you know, and just having a good time. Check your egos at the door. Y'all know the drill.
Yep.
You
right.
know?
Facts.
Fuck it. So anyways, appreciate you guys being on. Thank you so much. Big shout out live at NAMM 2025 here at the Cloud Mike's booth. Faders of the Lost Art, over and out.
Nice.
Peace.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
thank you.
Boy,
Sorry, I couldn't. I'm literally like.
Oh, my ears gotta adjust now.
Don't forget to share, comment, like, and subscribe. And see you next time on Faders of the Lost Art.